Hey, I want to touch on adhesion contracts because I was just watching the video, and I've actually been watching videos for years and watching how a lot of people, they will warn you about using forms, like government issued forms or whatever, templates or whatever. It's not a form. It's not like request forms or whatever. And and they're thinking that if they use the form, is their quote unquote their form, that you're entering into an adhesion contract. And you got to look at what the definition of these terms are instead of just hearing people say stuff and just regurgitating it without even looking the term up to find out exactly what it really means. It don't matter who says it, okay? I don't give a damn how, reputable the person online or wherever you're learning stuff from. It doesn't matter how reputable they are. We are all flawed. We all make mistakes sometime, okay? We all just may have an incomplete understanding about what things mean. So, or we have, it may be a little distorted here and there. We're all learning this game as we go. So the last thing you want to do is take what someone says and just run with it as if it can't be flawed whatsoever. And then you regurgitate it without even validating it. Okay, you got to start looking shit up. Look shit up before you just take that shit and just run with it and say, this is what it is. And I've been hearing the same thing over and over about using forms that you may find. And, like say, I was hearing a guy one day, he was saying something about not using a request form that was issued to you about, by some type of government agency or whatever. And basically a request form, you just requesting some type of service from them. I think it was authentication or something he was talking about. Using like the DS 4194 4191 form, 4194 form. I think that's the number it is. But anyway, that the form that you use when you request an authentication, and thinking you're just by the mere using of that document, that form, is entering into an adhesion contract. And this is what we have to get away from when we come with these conclusions and precautions and run around tiptoeing through these processes and through these journeys that we're going through, regurgitating what we hear people say without even looking these words up. Look up what an adhesion contract is. You're probably reading this while you're hearing me talk. I'm kind of ranting without reading first, okay? Because it didn't get to me, but it gave me a flashback of some of the things I've even regurgitated without even looking up. So this is why I'm kind of warning people who are actually they're just beginning on these journeys of learning these legal processes and learning how to navigate in the court system, how to navigate in the commercial realm, and different things concerning law and the language thereof. I even took in some certain words and conclusions and rules and procedures that I've heard people say, and I ran with it without looking it up first. Okay, and this is one thing that I've heard people say. This is not one of them that I embraced, but I decided to just look it up because I know what a contract is. First and foremost, if you look up a contract, you'll learn that a contract is an agreement. It's an agreement for the most part. You don't just the mere using of something is not automatically just like it means you agreed to something. Just like when someone say that when you do a paternity of acknowledgement of paternity form, they're saying you automatically get, you're agreeing to be put on child support. I'm like, that is not damn saying. It's merely an acknowledgement, just like it says it is. It's an acknowledgement. You're acknowledging that you are the father of the child, and we're not going to get into the legal language when they're talking about don't say child, say offspring. We're not getting into that all. I'm trying to stick to the point of why I'm making this video. Okay. It's an acknowledgement. Okay. And on the legal side, you as the father, you're acknowledging that this is your baby. Okay. This is your child. You are the one that you're going to have. You can't have legal rights to that child, to anything concerning that child, unless you actually, you're on the birth certificate. So you can't even file for custody or anything concerning that child if your name is not on the birth certificate. So Like I know this one guy, he was actually looking for, trying to file for custody of his little daughter, gorgeous little baby, and I told him from the start, I was helping him through the process. I'm like, you ain't gonna be able to get this done, man, unless your name is on that birth certificate. But bottom line is, he didn't know about the, anyway, let me stay on topic. I'm not going to go off into that topic because it's really not relevant. But bottom line is, a lot of people are scared to be on the birth certificate of their offspring because they think that automatically, like that's an adhesion contract, a sort of an adhesion contract, which means you automatically can get put on child support, because you're on the birth certificate. And that has a lot of men running from it. They're avoiding being on their own offspring's birth certificate. And it's not, anyway, let's get back on it. But that's what they see as an adhesion contract. And it's not. It's totally not. It's merely an acknowledgement that you are the father. Anyway, but they use commercial language. But anyway, an adhesion contract right here. An adhesion contract, also known as a contract of adhesion, is a contract where the parties are of such disproportionate bargaining power that the party of weaker bargaining power could not have negotiated for variations in the terms of the contract. That's like a unconscionable contract. It's a one-sided contract. However, let's click on where it says contract. A contract is an agreement. Just like I said, it's an agreement between parties. See, just using the document is not an agreement. You're just using the damn document. It's an agreement between parties creating mutual obligations that are enforceable by law. That's what a contract is. So you can't just use what other people are saying about an adhesion contract, and they're just calling it an adhesion contract. They're basically telling that's basically like the same thing as it's similar to like an unconscionable contract. It's a one-sided contract. You got a shitty end of the deal on the contract. You got screwed, but it's still an agreement that you agreed. You agree. It has to be something that you agreed to, some type of way you agreed to it. Okay, so just using somebody's form does not mean you agreed to do something that's not even written on the form. Nobody's even signing it. Nobody's even doing anything on there except you. You're the only one using the form. It does not automatically mean because it's a state-owned form, it means that automatically you agreed to them to be under their control or some shit like that. Because that's not what a contract is. So understand what these words mean before we go to just start embracing what people are saying and not looking these terms up. Okay? I'm not going to go and read this entire thing. You could do that at your leisure. As you can see, it's at Cornell Law. All you got to do is type in adhesion contract and you can read it for yourself. But you see, understand what these terms mean. An adhesion contract is similar to an unconscionable contract. It's a one-sided contract. But first and foremost, it has to be a contract, which you see for yourself is an agreement between parties. Creating mutual obligations. If just because you're using a form, there's nobody else on the form. Nobody even put their Hancock on it. Nobody did anything except you on that form. You just used it. It does not mean you're automatically entering into another contract. Okay? That's all I thought I'd make a video on this here, but I'm going to get on off of here. I just thought I'd kind of, clear the air, start looking up words, look these terms up and understand what they mean and not just be caught up on just because you're using something means you're automatically into an adhesion contract. Understand what these terms mean by looking them up and get a clear understanding about what these things, what they're saying, okay? All right, y'all. Emerald signing out.